Satvik Aharanam Ahara Shuddhi. So first the definition of yoga, and now explaining the definition of yoga one by one. So from gross level to subtle level. So first of all, about our intake, ahar. So ahar shuddhi, if you want to do mind shuddhi, if you want to do body shuddhi, you want to do feelings and emotions purification, so you can't jump, you have to go step by step. So the word ahar shuddhi, by what is the way, in what way we can do ahar shuddhi? So hit is beneficial, and mit means moderate, from me, root me, and sattvic is pure, from root sa. So sa is existing and being, but when the word change into some pratyay, sat plus e plus twa, so sattvic, the word sattvic, and word sattvic means pure. Aharanam, aharanam again means taking. So a is prefix and re is root, to take, and ahar means food, and shuddhi means purification. So again the Sanskrit root shuddh. So these are the grammatical analysis, but mainly we have to understand the crux that pure food is taking beneficial, moderate, and nature. So intake of pure food and beneficial food, moderate food, or natural food is ahara shuddhi. So ahara shuddhi is very important. Even when you go, like the Muslim people, when we say, okay, these are Muslim people, these are other people, they normally eat non-veg, and Jain is strictly vegetarian. If you talk that Jain people, and now in aeroplanes we have Jain food, it means no root vegetable. So sometime when I talk, I ask like young generation and the mother and father and everybody, like we are Jain, so the highest value to keep vegetarianism alive. If our kids are in union or college and other kids, and there our kids' plate is already short, they have less thing, and on top of that, if you ask them, then no potato, no onion, no other root vegetable, because you know ginger is root. We all use ginger. Huh? At home, I think in sabji, in masala, in sukhdi, in everything we use ginger. Then haldar, that is also root. We all use. Huh? All monks, nuns, everybody. See? Then other things. We don't use carrot, but in some families carrot, they use carrot. Some don't, some use. And then onion, then garlic, and then potato, then sweet potato. So I'm not advocating you eat root vegetable. Listen carefully. I'm not advocating to eat root vegetable. But if we push our kids, and sometime they will break all the boundaries. Then they say, oh, nowadays we are listening on radio and reading in the newspaper, these eggs are also kind of vegetarian. Once someone came to me and they asked, Samaniji, if I eat egg, you eat milk and curd, then what is difference? Then I said, there is lot more difference. Then he said, no, if you see the properties, then not much difference. That is also coming from body. It is Panchendriya cow and buffalo and goat, or maybe camel milk nowadays. Huh? And it is coming from hen. So it is a body part. It means something physically they produce for their kids and it is their kids. So what is the difference? Then I say, oh, these eggs never fertilize. They are prepared in this way, they don't give birth to anything. Milk is not giving birth to anything, so they are similar. If you look, maybe I haven't read anything about the properties, but you see some behavioral point. And in that point, milk is even allowed to put in the Abhishek of Bhagwan, in Bhagwan's puja. And milk is not that type of cruelty. I'm not asking or telling the dairy farms and their violence, but I'm asking the natural way of, like in India, cow is a part of family. I did milking at home. We had, when I was small, we had cow. I used to do milk and the cow was so good, like at 2 o'clock we have a guest and we don't have milk is finished. Then mother used to ask, okay, go and get some milk from cow. And I did because the cow was so good. Otherwise, only 2 times. But our cow was so good, we can go and get milk 4 times, 5 times, 6 times even. When we need, we can use that. So, sometimes people have this notion, but for the coming generation, it is good we tell them, like there is 5 great vows, then Samaniji's vows, then householders' vows, and householders also have very different type of variation. Some bar vrati sravak, some vrati sravak, some have very few vows, and some don't have any vows, like this. So I'm telling that for the kids, we should keep our mind open. In this way, at least in any situation, our kids should stay vegetarian. That is very, very important. And if we bind, and I'm not asking that those who are doing, that is good, that is really good. And sometimes if you nurture from the very beginning, that is a grooming. How you groom, how you nurture your kids, how you raise them, how you give the sanskara at home. There is no difficulty because there are so many things. Like once I used to talk to my grandmother, and when she was only 5 years old, she took only 5 fruits. So the kakadiya, matira, then like and only 5. Then I said, oh, how you spent your life, because she was 93-year-old when she passed away. And throughout her life, more than 5, and also some gawar ki phali. And so I said, you haven't chosen so nice things in this world, and just banana, mango, 2 fruits, gawar ki phali and kakadiya matira. Just. So she restricted whole life that. And some other old ladies, there is a one word, khand uthana, means no green vegetable life. I have seen. Oh, there is so much heating. Heating it. Hmm? No, this on my back, so a big thermos. Now it is enough heat for you, because it is right my back. So, so always think about next generation, how we can keep this legacy. When we study at university, and there is really shocking that they read through Bhagavati Sutra, and some part of it that they translate Mahavira 8 minutes. But it's like for us, it's listening very difficult. And then how it happened, I don't know. But the word is Atti. Atti means Asthi. But Gurudev Harman Jacob became India, and our 8th Guru Kalugani, and they have 2-3 days long discussion that what you translated is not right. And then he given so many examples from Uttaradiyan Dasvekalik Sutra that Atti means the hard part of the fruit. Stone, that mango and mango stone. Aam ki gutti. So they translated like this. And in India that book is banned. That book is totally banned. And but unfortunately how this happened, if we refute this point, again there is commentaries. And commentaries repeating same thing. So it's very difficult, and then they say, no, text is important. And again, there is a debate in Shwetambar and Digambar. So Digambar took one path, and that path is like after omniscience knowledge, after Keval Gyan, there is no Kevali Kaval Ahar. The main difference in Digambar and Shwetambar. Shwetambar believe that doesn't matter, they are omniscient, but having the same body and same structure, so body need food to survive. So the 30 years after omniscience, Mahavira got Keval Gyan, and after that 30 years Mahavira was in the same body. And Loharya Muni, Sudharma, used to, it is the second name of Sudharma, and he used to go for alms round and collected food, and he brought for Mahavira. So this is Shwetambar tradition. But Digambar tradition said that there, after omniscient knowledge, no need of corporal, means morsels, no need of Kaval Ahar. Kaval Ahar means like taking 1 bite, 2 bites. So these type of food is not necessary. They don't need that food. So there is no question about eating any sort of non-veg. And Shwetambar tradition interpret that these ati and mans means pulp, like mango, mango stone and mango pulp. So this type of story, and sometimes without understanding the crux of the tradition and without understanding the various meaning of same word. One word have many meanings. So if they don't understand, they don't follow the tradition. So such things are written by Western scholars. And even sometimes they did so other blunders, like Weber, so an eminent scholar, and he wrote, there is no difference in Jainism and Buddhism, and both are the same. Because Siddharth, Ananda, so many names are similar in two tradition, and I think there was no two person like Buddha and Mahavira. So there is no independent Jain religion, only Buddhist religion. And then later scholars refuted this, and now this is totally clear among the Western scholars. So sometimes Western scholar, without understanding or their superficial knowledge, sometimes they dig very, very deep, and they also put some new facts. Similarly, last year one scholar came by Jyot, and he said, look, Anekant is not Jain's contribution. It is coming from the Mathur, Vritti, so it is coming from the Ajivik tradition. Then Lesha, the word Lesha, and Lesha is also not the contribution of Jains. It is also coming from other tradition. So such things are there, and no final assessment, no final declaration, but sometimes there is some threatening point from the Western scholarship. So once I remember Gurudev Mahapragyaji said that the Jains should have one academic platform, and that academic platform have all the publication from the worldwide, all the assignments and all the PhD thesis at one place, and scholars should read carefully what the Western scholar, Indian scholar, Jain scholar, non-Jain scholars are writing about Jainism, and that form should have power to answer in a right way. And some Jain acharya, Jain scholars, some householders have a team, and that team answer properly what is the right and what is the wrong. So such a form is very important. Otherwise, maybe some wrong information about Jainism, and that create a big hazard and big loss for the Jain society, Jain religion, and Jain Siddhanta. So just I go away from it. So Hit, Mit, and Satvik. Again, Mit. Hit means beneficial. What is beneficial? Sometimes we have to draw a line. Sometimes people say, no, this is beneficial, but according to Jainism, we can't use that. Then myth. What is the definition of myth? How we can draw a line? Because one can eat 4 chapati, one can eat 3 chapati, one can eat 8 chapati or 10 chapatis. So how we can draw a line? And the line is, when you finish eating everything, if you feel your mind is going here, it means we have eaten. I myself, I have eaten little bit more. And sometimes a very important thing, because in our brain we have a system, and brain gives us signal, you have eaten plenty. But some person's signal comes late. It is very true. I have seen in my condition, like I have eaten half roti, 2 chapati, sabji, and then I say, oh, what is anything else there? Then Samaniji say, yes, we have this. But sometime Pratibha Pragyaji said, you have eaten enough. Now, no need to eat or chew or munch something after eating. Then I said, no, there is no signal still. Then she said, no, your signal comes late. Your signal comes late. And now when I do some personal consultation, I got few other people's also. They also said that our signal comes late, and then we don't understand. We eat more. So just if you identify such thing like me, then stop there. Otherwise, when signal comes and after that you always say, oh, पेट भारी है, my mind is going there. So Gurudev Mahapragya ji given us one filter that make your habitual eating plan, and this is enough for me. Then after that your mind says no, take something more, then you say no to yourself. So that is the line of myth. Otherwise, the brain signal will be 10 minutes later, and then within 10 minutes, you have put some more things inside you. And that happens with me. So I ask, just judge yourself. Is it something true there or not true there? So just after that, if you really feel, yeah, I need to take something, half cup of hot water. Half cup of hot water, and that will give you satisfaction, and you feel oh, now it is full. So mit ahar, hit ahar, then mit ahar, then sattvic ahar. Sattvic is again, sometimes these junk foods are not coming under the category of sattvic. It is very hard to avoid everything junk, because what is prepared and processed, if at our home, if roti is after 2 days and 3 days, we feel, oh, not good. Khakra, 1 month, it is okay. Or nitrogen packed, then when we open, after that, 3 days, 5 days. So you see, the pack of biscuit have 1 year long date on it. You can eat till 2016. You can eat till 2015. So just think rationally, what is there? How they survive so long? Preservative. Preservative is definitely there. And those preservative is not beneficial for our body. They also create a different type of hazard inside us. So sattvic, when we judge sattvic, try to understand that. I went to University of Texas and I did a lecture for the youth about food awareness and Jain food. And I asked many kids, so some of them are very strong because their upbringing, their mother and father's care. But some of them, Samaniji, we are vegetarian, but sometimes we take non-veg flavors. What do you mean? Oh, some powder is mixed. Make you know, not supposed to take. Not supposed to take such liberty, because it is dry powder is sprinkled over it for the flavor, then it is non-veg. So be aware of it. So that is not coming under the sattvic. So be careful for hit, mit, sattvic, ahar, and that intake is coming under the purification or purified food, purified intake of the food. Then the second sutra, Swa Visayan Prati Samyag Yoga Indriya Suddhi. Swa Visayan means one's own object. So So here the root is C. C is extended, and Prati is means towards. And so the object of each and every sense organ. Each and every sense organ have different objects. So in the note I have Swa Vishaya means the object of sense. Five senses have the five organs of sense, having each their proper object. That sound, shabd for ears, taste for rasnendriya, tongue, odor for gandh, and roop for eyes, and tangibility means touch, also the touch for the skin. So Swa Vishayan Prati means each and every sense have their own part of own area to acquire knowledge. So if our indriya is indulging in those particular part, those particular area, it means they are in their yoga. So some anch queen, so like samyak, and yog means union, and it is coming from the root yuj, and indriya so many times it is comes from the root indra, and shuddhi is again purification. So our eyes are indulging to looking, and again we have to draw a line, what to see, what not to see. Sometimes everything is in front of us, देखते हुए न देखना, जानते हुए न जानना. Suppose there is bad foul smell and we close our nose. Sometimes something which we should not see, we close our eyes. But देखते हुए भी न देखना, everything in front of us, and in that situation our senses are not indulging in that action, or not if they have seen as a scene, but not going to analyze that scene, or not putting their liking and disliking upon it. So that is Samyag Yoga of our sense organs. Sometimes we started, oh, I liked this, I don't like this. So no judgment, and that keep you away from the world. Living in the world, but away from the world. Because there is no way to live outside the world. We have to live in the world. But when we start liking, disliking and making judgment on it, it means we are not in the proper yoga, not in the Samyag yoga. In Samyag yoga, it means just see, just perceive, and no comment upon it. And sometimes we are so good not speaking by words, but our mind is so much intense. Means whatever we collected, we have given whole raw material to our mind, and then mind started thinking on it. And that self-talking is so much dangerous. That is not yoga. So in that situation, you write down something and throw it in the bin. Or you tell something to someone and then make yourself empty. And it is not possible to tell somebody else. Then make your breathing your vehicle. Kick it out through your breathing. Breathing has that power. You can do that. So such things means our indriya, they are just collector. They collect and giving everything to our mind. And the mind is working day and night at subconscious level. and such things are so dangerous. We can't concentrate on our work, we can't concentrate on our meditation, we can't concentrate on our eating while you are eating and something is going on. Something is going on. So, the Indriya Shuddhi is very minute part but a very important part for the yoga, for the sadhana. And what sutra you listen every week, try to put in your practice. Okay, how we collect the message from the touch, from the taste, from the eyes, from the ears, and how we use it. Where we stop, where we not stop. Should be given to our subconscious mind. And then sometimes it is so deep rooted, it is not in your hand to stop there. So purity of sense organ is one direction, union towards one's own subject. And the 18th one is Pratisanlinata. Pratisanlinata means if you have seen and don't give them next opportunity. Like a tortoise. Tortoise have 4 legs, and that when he feel, oh, there is some harm, some fire zone or some dangerous zone, just keep it inside itself. So Pratisanlinita means withdrawal of the senses. Withdrawal of the senses. So prati means against, back, or from lin root, and tal pratyay. So just withdraw in yourself. So ask your sense organ, now it is dangerous time, come inside. Close them and stop them watching, using the sense organ. So it is a kind of withdrawal, Pratisanlinata. And this part is very similar in Yoga Darshan, Pratyahar. Pratyahar is also withdrawal of the senses. Pranayamai Samadirgha Swas Kayotsargai Anapana Suddhi. Anapan means breathing. An and apan. Inhale and exhalation. Inhalation and exhalation. Pranayam means, prana means breath, and pran means vital force. And ayam means expandation. Expand. So pranayam and samaswas. Samaswas means rhythmic breathing. And dirgha swas means long breathing. And kayotsarg. So kayotsarg, I am not going again in the kayotsarg. So kayotsarg is a kind of abandonment of activities, physical activities, and kayotsarg is again relaxation with self-awareness. So by this one can do Anapana Suddhi. Anapana Suddhi means purification of the breathing. So today's lecture is mainly, today's study is specifically the purification of intake of food, purification of the sense organs, then withdrawal of the sense organ, and then purification of the breathing, and that is the main important part of yoga, Jain yoga.